Good people to chase, although I can't seem to catch Leon and Angus yet. Some time for that later on.
Well done. Like the fact that you've joined us up here. Good to see. Angus, you've got to be happy with your North Island excursion, mate, because you've just got better and stronger as the series has gone on.
Yeah, it's been all right. Hampton Downs was awesome, but the other 2 rounds been a bit mediocre. But this race I was on Leon, and then some silly 300 decided he'd, do a really dangerous move on me, which made me roam wide, and I lost the toe on Leon, which bit gutting. But oh well, second, and pretty much I think I've secured second in the championship from that one, so pretty stoked.
Yeah, well done. Hopefully we have with the others as well. And Leon's got the family here, so an opportunity to be up here. Leon, what have those guys got to do to get up to you?
I'm not sure. I felt like I got a good start. Angus said he was there, so I'm not super proud of my lap times, but I had a look back, and Angus was away back, so I followed Dean Watson, just stuck behind him. Seemed to work, but yeah, it didn't. I was lucky. I didn't want to have to push. Track team's cold, so yeah, could be a different story tomorrow, but we'll see.
Well done. There we go. Another race to get in a row, but here's our 2 February production finish. Well done.
All right, here we go. Racing at the moment with the Gixxer Cup 150 class, and a brilliant start for the number 21 machine. So there we go. Luca Durning around turn 1. So many different ones you can take into turn 1. These little 150s. You've got all that little corner speed you carry through there. See Jesse Stroud up there. That's second place for him on the Team Lizard Racing. Team Stroud Suzuki in second place. We see Zach Fuller, he's up into about 5th place with Clark Fountain in behind him as well. So that's the battle for 2nd and 3rd in the championship. So this is all to play for. So looking at the points, Jesse Stroud, a 27-point advantage back to Zach Fuller, who's got a 25-point advantage back to Clark Fountain. So there we go, there's your battle for 1, 2 and 3 in New Zealand, and Jesse Stroud out there at the moment in 2nd place. So that's exactly what he needs to do, be up this end of the field, and brilliant to see Jesse Stroud, the potential to be 3 Stroud National Championships by the end of the weekend. So that's something we're going to keep an eye on as we have a look at them around turn 9, the awesome little right-hander, and Jesse Stroud goes up into the lead. That's Caleb Gilmore actually in 2nd place. So Caleb, who had his first ever podium last weekend, and it was a win at Manfield, and just the jubilation on his face was absolutely brilliant. So love the Gixxer Cup. This is only a 5-lap race, so we're looking at lap record time as well. So the qualifying time was on around about lap record pace, so we'll keep an eye on it. But here we go, out there flying, and this back straight's going to be brutal for a 150 to lead into. So look for the slipstream. And we see a brilliant bit of tactics here. Jesse Stroud using the whole track right on the white line. No one decides to follow him for the slipstream. So some great racecraft, and you'd learn that if your dad was a 9-time New Zealand Superbike champion. But here we go. Look at the swarm of them coming into the flip-flop. This is going to be a brilliant 5-lapper we've come to expect from the Gixxer Cup.
Oh, great to see. Man, oh man, we loved it last weekend. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can nail them off and count them through, folks. In fact, this group probably a fraction more stretched out. And who was that decisive move in 2nd place to come up on from the pack? That was a great move to cut. In fact, yes, indeed. Still there, it was Caleb, and he's pulled out the little bit of buffer. It's Clark Fountain that's in there. So Clark was the earlier pace setter of that group. Jesse, Caleb, then Clark, then go to Zach Fuller, who had a win last weekend. Go to Luca Dunning in there, along with Shane Miller, Caleb Stroud in there, along with Justin Borner. And all we've talked about is a buffer of 3.1 seconds. So we've gone 3.1 seconds. We're talking about the first 8 riders. That's the swarm, as we keep calling it. Curtis Boyd, Hamish Simpson. Then we go to Cameron Goldfitch. He's got a lap record at Manfield last weekend. Amazing. In the field of 11 riders, he got the lap record while he was holding 9th place. That gives you an idea of the pace in the swarm and all the aerodynamics that are going on. And he's amazing. Around 18, you heard it, 18 horsepower little Suzuki Gixxers. Less than that standard. They put a mid-speed stainless steel muffler on them. They're completely controlled for all of their performance factor, which is what makes them so production and so standard and so even to watch. Liam Whelans, Michael Dowman, Lucy, their brother and sister combo out of Wanganui, courtesy of Dibbon Sports Motorcycles, and go to Man 2's Sarah Humphrey in there as well. So with Lucy and Sarah, a couple of our young ladies in the sport as well. So great to see. It's called the Gixxer because, of course, it is the GSXR Suzuki from the Suzuki stables, the little 150 under the GSXR banner, which we know, of course, course, they have won 12 of the last 13 New Zealand Road Race Championships. One brand, totally dominant. And, of course, they look set to do that in our overall championship again this year. But this is the class that I remember clearly being at our MNZ annual general meeting. Simon Mead, motorcycle marketing manager, came to the meeting and said, we reckon we can do this to New Zealand road racing. This is how we're going to do it. So it wasn't just a matter of talking about it. It was saying how they were going to do it. And it was introducing this class, and it's only been in its second season. So it's not even 2 years old. And here we are with this fantastic class. And Simon, if you're out there, matey, congratulations for what you set out to do, because what it's done is showing you that with 18 horsepower, you can have some real racing. And what a swarm. The first two might have broken clear, Brad, but the next one is anybody's game.
Absolutely. This front two out there at the moment, they've got to be careful that they don't trip each other up. They need to work together. There's 4 laps to go. Now we're down to 3 laps as they cross the line. So Jesse Stroud and Caleb Gilmore have broken away a little bit, but they're going to have to just make sure they don't do too much battling. There's Clark Fountain up into 3rd place with it's Curtis Boyd and Zach Fuller. They're going to be too wide as they head around down into the S's, so they follow each other through there. We've got Luca Durning in there as well, and Shane Miller, our pole man, who's now back into 7th place in this race. So absolutely brutal for poor Shane Miller, the man or two man, the likeable young man there. And we see Jesse Stroud and Caleb Gilmore. These guys are out there and gone.
Well, there you go. So those first two are gone, and as Brad said, they need to watch out because we certainly learnt last weekend that Jesse, in fact, had one of these similar breaks that he made on the pack, and all of a sudden he made a little mistake and he didn't have the ability to get sucked along. So as soon as you lose the momentum of these bikes, it takes a long time to get it back again, whereas you're around the other bikes and you can get literally dragged along by them. Anybody will tell you, you've only got to watch Guy Martin's speed, of course, on TV to know what you can do with a bicycle when you put a wall in front of it and get the aerodynamics around it. You can actually get a bicycle to go 100 kilometres an hour because you take away the wind resistance, and that's what slipstreaming is, taking away the wind resistance of going into it. And in fact, here at Taupo today, as we head towards twilight, as it's coming up towards 5 o'clock, interestingly, of course, we lose daylight saving tonight, so you get a sleep in. So here we are, of course, fall and fall. We fall back an hour in the 4 months, and here we are to almost go into winter time. So we're just finishing this one up at the end of our summer season, and the temperature has certainly dropped off a little bit here today with the cloud cover increase and the cooler weather. It was a scorching, beautiful, red, electrifying sunrise this morning. So the weather forecast tell us a different day tomorrow, not a likeable day. But hey, this is racing and we'll take every bit of it. But there we go, a 1-2 with Jesse and Caleb out in front, but then the swarm is in there. 6 of them. Anybody with a chance to be who's going to be on the podium. These top 2 look set to be our best 2, but Clark, Curtis, Zach, Luca and Shane are in there and fighting for the glory.
Yeah, absolutely. So the front 2, that's a 2-horse race for the leader. This one, there's 2 laps to go, and they have got a massive advantage, but it is Clark Fountain, go back to Luca Durning, and then Zach Fuller with Shane Miller. And now we see another one catch on to the back of that. That might be young Cameron Goldfinch in there as well. So that's turned into now a full-on 6-way tussle, and that's for the battle for the podium. So that's certainly not done yet. But at the moment, Jesse Stroud, points lead in the championship, exactly what Mick Ryan would have told him he had to go and do. Just put your head down and tick them off, and brilliant stuff. So he's got 2 laps to go, and he's got that 27-point advantage at the moment, with Zach down in 5th place as well. He could take a massive points advantage into the final 2 races of this Gixxer Cup.
All right, well, potentially we've got some of our champions to be crowned here today provisionally because they've accumulated enough points. It's only been our 125 GP 250 mono that was crowned last weekend already with over 75 points. Welcome to Australian Yanni Shaw, who's been the first one to take a title, and as a coincidence, he's actually had extreme mechanical problems on his bike, so as it's turned out, it's very lucky that he's got that, but he hasn't come all the way from Australia just to enjoy our scenic wonderland here in Taupo, New Zealand. So he has, courtesy of Biggles Racing, been given a bike, so he'll be out on the Campbell Grayling bike, so he will get some riding in. His chances of a podium have certainly been demoted, but hey, it doesn't matter because he's already won that title, so great to see. Some titles up for grabs today, but certainly tomorrow with 2 races. As Brad is describing, when you've got more than 25 points advantage, you won't need the final race, so I'm sure we're going to see lots of battles fought out and claimed for victory here tomorrow morning as we resume on this, what will effectively be the 10th and final day of NZSBK 2019 and our Road Racing Championships, brought to us by our awesome, great sponsors, including DHL, Pirelli, Honda, with Suzuki, Resine, Yamaha, Ctas Live, ICG Print, MXT, your motocross and track timing, Bike Rider Magazine, and of course today's fantastic sponsor, Carl Cox Motorsport.
So here we go, the update. Jesse Stroud, a massive advantage out of the flip-flop down the front straight, and a lap record as well. So an updated lap record of 2:03.733, a lap record now for Jesse Stroud. So absolutely brilliant, and he's done it all without the slipstream. He's led from the first lap and ticked them off. Brilliant. White flag out, 1 lap to go, and get in behind young Jesse Stroud, the Team Lizard Racing, Team Stroud Suzuki out there in the front of the wheel. Caleb Gilmore, he's run a good race in second place, and now Zach Fuller up into third with Clark Fountain in fourth, Luca Durning and Shane Miller there. The battle for the podium still well and truly on, but Zach Fuller, he's going to need to be on that podium if he wants to keep in touch with this title fight.
Well, here we go, bike battles galore being contested here at the moment. A 1-2, then that break, and it's a sizable break at that. Nose favours, I'm sure, with the white flag. Those boys have actually got to do something wrong to lose that. But then that next battle, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the other two have just split off the back of it. So it's that fight, any one of those four, Brad. I think the other two that have dropped off, and they'll be, I think, Curtis and Shane. I'm sorry, no, Shane and Justin. I think we've got Curtis, Luca, Clark, and Zach, of course, in there. And Zach Fuller looking to be the one in the front of them at the moment. And when they came to here, 3 laps ago, he was back in 5th place, so he's made up 2, and he's got it there at 3rd at the moment. Can he hold it? He's proved to be one of the more consistent in our championship charge on the Mahoe Land Company supported Kiwi Rider Magazine sponsored Flying Suzuki GixxerR1 So look out for Zach Fuller. Can he claim the glory? Well, we're about to find out.
Here we go, down the back straight, and Jesse Stroud out of the hairpin, and he is flying at the moment. He's got about a 1.8 second gap, and it is about a 20 or 30 odd bike lengths. They head down the back straight, and this is a brilliant performance. There's a puff of dust come out of the hairpin there, so we'll have to try and catch an update there. It's out of our screens, out of our viewing, but hopefully there's nothing too dramatic down there. But Jesse Stroud into the flip-flop, and what a performance. So this is a brilliant ride from him. He's out of the flip-flop. There we go with Caleb Gilmore, so full credit to Caleb. That's a brilliant podium. Back it up in the air as well.
Well, I think we're going to have to change, though, for that next placing, Brad. I think, Zach Fuller's well lost it. He's lost 2 placings, so there we go. We'll have Zach and Caleb. They're going to do the 1-2. He's going to get there. He's going to get there. He's going to get the next one. Is it going to be Clark? I think it could be Clark in there, and Clark has made it. Well done to Clark Fountain. Well, Zach has got the 4, so he's earned it back, but he'd lost it there for a split second on Luca as we had Shane and Justin in that group. 8.6 seconds for 1st to 7th is all it was. Cameron Goldfinch has come through in 8th, quickly followed by Hamish Simpson and Liam Whelan. So they'll be the next ones to come across. So, wow, talk about some drama in there, and Brad, not quite sure who we'd lost in that one because
we've lost Curtis Boyd, hasn't come round, so I think out of the flip-flop into turn 14, there's someone down in the final corner, so hopefully A-OK down there. It's out of our sight. But the update, Jesse Stroud, a lap record and a race win, and extending his points advantage. Caleb Gilmore finishes 2nd, Clark Fountain gets up for 3rd, that's your podium. And then we go back to Zach Fuller in 4th, who's lost a big chunk of points there to Jesse, so he's in damage control mode moving forward in the weekend. Luca Durning up in 5th, Shane Miller gets the 6th. Justin Maunder, a nice 7th place for Justin. Cameron Goldfinch in 8th. Hamish Simpson there in 9th. Liam Whelans gets the 10th, 11th for Michael Dowman, and Lucy Dowman finishes in 12th place, and still waiting for Sarah to cross the finish line. So there we go with our Gixxer Cup. Absolutely brilliant racing, and well, that's got to be the biggest winning margin I've ever seen, 2.84 seconds. And Jesse Stroud, full credit to the Team Lizard Racing down there, and brilliant stuff from him. So plenty of action still to come. We've got the Pro Twins 8-lapper coming up next as well, so that's going to be awesome stuff. Just 11 points in the championship at the moment with Ben Rosendale and Nick Kane fighting it out, and some drama in that class as well. So there's Sarah coming through, so well done to Sarah. That's a good 13th place finish for her. So we've got the podium down there, and Jesse, Caleb and Clark will be on the podium, so that's brilliant stuff from them. And coming up next, the 8-lapper for the Pro Twins. So some awesome racing still to come here at round 5 of the New Zealand Superbike Championship, NZSBK, here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park in Rockin, with time at about 10 to 5 at the moment, and really excited about this one. We've got Super Sport 150 still to come, and also the 125 GP Superlight, with the potential of Jacob Stroud to take that Superlight title. He's got a 46-point advantage in the title at the moment, and he just needs another race win to lock that title in there. So that's all to come later on.
Well, we have a lot of good news that goes on in our sport, but probably for me the bad news of the week was the step down of our president, Glenn Williams, and thank you for your text, Glenn. He's unable to make it this weekend. He's a busy man. He's all around the globe, and yes, indeed, he's contributed an amazing 4 years to our sport, and from all of us, Glenn, a huge thank you. You have made a significant difference in your pathway of professionalism in our sport, so I know that for sure, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. So a text from him just wishing everybody all the best, and apologies that he can't be here, but I know that he's got to be happy with his contribution to our sport. So Glenn, and well, there we go with trying to find out next who will be our next president. That's another game. Well, here we go, a fabulous podium to be had here for our Gixxers. And Clark, well, you were in the best fight in the pack. We didn't know who was going to get there. What was the secret to getting that third place or first in that fight?
I've been practicing that move all weekend on that corner, and it finally paid off, and like Suzuki's put on this great class, and it's so much fun, and like all my sponsors were helping with the bike and getting me here, and that's really helped a lot.
Great to see, and thoroughly deserved. So there we go, Clark Fountain, the West Coast Warrior, as we look out for Caleb. Caleb, well, you proved it was no fluke. You only started racing in November. Here you are again, another weekend at podium. Your smile's getting wider.
Yeah, it was a great race. Felt pretty long. It was pretty cold out there, and I was trying to catch up to Jesse, but he kept getting the gap kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it was great racing from the boys. Yeah.
All right. What about Taupo? What do you think of this place?
It's a difficult track for me, but I guess it just kind of like paid off that in practice. Kind of figured out some different lines that I haven't used before, and some of them was like gaining like tenths of a second and stuff. So it was real good.
That's what we need to do, just making sure, because those announcements are more important than ours. So thank you, Caleb. Well done. Jesse, congratulations. What made it so easy that time? Other races you've had to fight, and you've even lost some of the odd battles. That time you smoked them.
Yeah, I was just I was pushing real hard, and kept looking back, and Caleb was still behind me, and I was like, still trying to pull that gap. But yeah, it was just got a good start, so that really helped, and just put me in the front, and I could just try pull real hard, and that's about it.
What about Taupo? Do you like it?
Yeah, I really like Taupo, yeah. It was a bit cold today, so it was real slippery, but yeah, it was heaps fun.
Nice to see. There we go. What a fantastic podium. Let's hear it for our Suzuki GixxerR Cup. Well done, guys. Jesse, Caleb and Clark, as we salute the champions, courtesy of Suzuki, a way of life in this fabulous little motorcycle that has given real heart to our road racing, along with Honda Cars, Resine Automotive and Light Industrial, and also to Pirelli. Power is nothing without control, and Carl Cox Motorsport, proud to be sponsors of our event. Still a couple of races to go, folks. Do stay with us. The temperature might be down, but the atmosphere is up. We're warm. Hope you are as well at 5 to 5.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. GixxerR1 Cup and a great podium there. So Jesse Stroud, we touched on extending the points advantage, and Caleb Gilmore, he's sitting in 11th in the points, so absolutely brilliant for him to be up on the podium and having the weekends like he's having. He was equal on points with Zach Fuller for first overall last weekend, and there he is again on the podium. And I must say a special hello to everyone following Clark Fountain. He comes all the way from the west coast of the South Island, does a lot of travelling, him and Dad and the awesome ambulance, and special hi to Clark's twin brother Max at home watching on Ctas. Hopefully you're out there watching and giving your brother all, so special hello to Max out there, and brilliant to have families like the Fountain family out there, the West Coast Warrior Clark Fountain, another good podium. But we move on to this Pro Twins act.